everyone, it's Ivy here today, and today I have a bit of a different video for you all. I'm not going to do the typical fashion video that I do. I'm not going to do the typical fashion videos that I usually do, and to be honest, I don't know if I want to do them for a while. I've kind of had a bit of like a life-altering revelation, if you will. It's not really a revelation, it's kind of something that I've known for a long time, but just really want to take a leap into doing so now.
I realized upon editing this video how unclear I was about what I was doing. I'm pretty much just going to be making more real videos that suit me and my channel, and yeah.
We'll just quickly get into the topic of this video. You probably already know what it is as you clicked into it. I did a social media fast for 7 days. I fasted Instagram and Facebook. In the end, having done this fast, I feel so much more different and have such a different perspective, and I guess I just want to talk you guys through that. I have a whole bunch of notes here. Me and my fiance were looking for sermons on prayer that we could listen to. I stumbled across this sermon on prayer and fasting, and the sermon more so focused on fasting. It was one by Jentezen Franklin. I can't remember what it's called, but I will link it down below. I'm pretty sure it's something like Prayer and Fasting by Jentezen Franklin. It was really, really good, really powerful. It was only, I think, half an hour, and it was such an easy listen to. That sermon talked really deeply about fasting and what it actually was, and I guess like the background knowledge of it all, because I didn't have a lot of background knowledge on fasting before I started this, but having gone through that, I feel like I learned a lot. So listening to that sermon really inspired me to do this fast. He was pretty much saying in that sermon that physical obedience brings spiritual blessing. So anything that we really do physically in this world really affects us spiritually. Whether you physically obey something from God or physically disobey, it actually has such a big impact on us spiritually. After listening to the sermon, I just felt like a really big tug on me to give up social media for a bit. I wanted to try 7 days and see how that goes first, and it was a really, really good decision. I was so happy that I did it. So the first few days, I honestly struggled so hard. I didn't realize how much I relied on social media. I would constantly be at work, and from time to time, I would obviously take a break, stop and have a look at my phone. And I found that I struggled so much with this. Like in those little breaks, I would just go on my phone and be like, what do I look at? And I felt like I needed to look at something on my phone. The first few days were really hard. I remember some point in the middle of this fast, I think it was like 4 days in or something like that, I actually had a dream. Somehow it was my birthday also on that day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta check Instagram because it's my birthday. And in my head, I think I was thinking like, I need to see who posted about me on Instagram or Facebook because it's my birthday, and I just had this strong urge to go on it, and I woke up craving social media. I didn't realize how much I needed it subconsciously or how much I really relied on it on such a day-to-day basis. First few days were really hard. Towards the end, when I actually started spending more time with God, which is what the point of a fast is, it became more bearable, and it made me just realize so much about myself and so much about how I use social media. In saying that, I actually did a 21-day fast of social media at the beginning of this year. I think I did YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I did it because like my church in general all did this. I go to a Hillsong church, and everyone throughout all Hillsong Australia did a 21-day fast. You could do whatever you want. You could give up food. You could do the Daniel fast, which is like vegan food for 3 weeks. You could do social media, which a lot of people did. A lot of people did lots of different things that they felt like they were personally craving and I guess felt like they were addicted to. And I didn't know anything about fasting at all when I first did that. I used to think that fasting was a means to be able to kind of gain something materialistically, and that does sound really materialistic. I think it was probably the way that I was raised and things that were said to me from such a young age, but I genuinely thought that like you would fast for 3 weeks during the times that you really needed something. Like I remember my mom saying this to me. She said, oh, you're graduating from uni in a month's time, you should probably fast now so that God can open doors and give you opportunities of job provision. I genuinely thought it was about that. I fasted so that I could get something from God. In the end, I'm more so realizing it's just like a deeper level to be able to understand who God is and to deepen your relationship with Him. The more you rely on something such as food or social media, the less you rely on God. So like when you take that away and you replace it, you've actually got to do something about it though. Like you've got to replace it with, I don't know, like listening to worship music, reading the Bible, journaling. That helps a lot for me. So when I did the 21-day fast, I had no idea of this. I actually didn't do anything about it. I kind of just spent 3 weeks off social media, but did the same thing that I was doing anyways and not really spending more time in the Word. So I just felt like that social media fast didn't really do anything for me, to be honest. And when I did this fast, I did the same thing for the first few days, and it was so hard for me to control myself. I like almost broke the fast, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go on social media, who cares? But the more time I spent with God towards the end of it, during the fast, in the times that I really craved it, is when I got the most out of it. I found that for me personally, I got a lot out of it when I was journaling. And so now I guess I will move on to, oh, my foot's dead. In that journaling, I got so much out of it. I guess I'll share with you guys some of the thoughts that I had gotten from this fast. And honestly, I was expecting something like life-altering and revolutionary that was going to change my life entirely. And honestly, it was just like God speaking to me in the ordinary days. So on my lunch break, towards the end of the fast, I would just literally sit outside and have my journal out and wait for God to talk to me. I was really nervous doing this because sometimes I get scared of like, I guess, opening myself up and being like, hey God, speak to me, and then he doesn't, and like I'm just sitting there like, oh. On these days when I tried it, I got a lot of different revelations, and I thought I would share them with you because why not? I literally titled this page, what is God speaking to me about? And I got some stuff, like for example, what was mentioned in the sermon, physical obedience brings spiritual blessing. They're really random thoughts that I kind of just like felt that I heard in my head and just quickly jotted down. So I'm sorry if this like is so random, it doesn't make any sense. I personally felt like it spoke to me. This is one I actually got from a sermon from Mike Todd, who runs Transformation Church. But it came to my head again as I was writing these down. The bigger the influence, the bigger the responsibility of service. And this is so true. Like, I guess for me, for a really long time, I just was hoping to just build this platform to express my Christianity, and something that God had like reminded me of so deeply was that like a bigger level of influence just means more serving. It's not like you just sit back and you can do whatever you want. You have more people watching you, you have more people knowing who you are, which means that you just have a bigger level of people to service. I didn't expect any of these, I just felt these randomly come to my head, and I was just like, why am I writing this down? They were just things like, you're so blessed, I think so highly of you, you are always loved, forgiven, and never forgotten. And I was just like, why am I writing this down? Like, this has no relevance to this fast. I don't get it. But I think it was just like God addressing insecurities that I'd had, especially being on social media. And one that I thought was so good, that I really liked and stood out to me the most, was felt God saying to me like, social media should be an extension of your creativity, not where you find your validation from. And it's so true. As a creative myself, I started YouTube initially because I innately am a creative person. I feel like I get so lost in, I think that like social media is the place where I create things for. I create my creations just for social media, but it shouldn't be like that at all. I shouldn't find my validation in social media, and I shouldn't find, I guess, applause of the creativity that I have on social media. It should more so be an extension of who I am. Like, I create all these things and I genuinely love doing it, but I'm just here to share it with you guys. And so that was such a big thing for me, and that was like the revelation that really hit me home. Yeah, that was my experience of fasting from social media for 7 days. Honestly, I would highly recommend it, whether you're a Christian or not. If you're not doing this for the purpose of like fasting for God, it brings to light just how reliant you can be on social media if you are the type of person to be reliant on it. Even if you're a Christian, 100% recommend, would do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram at ivy_Nicole with 2 E's. I post a new video every Thursday, Australia time. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Romance will soon be ours.